The tapping of the mirror house. In a small, isolated village, nestled deep in the forest, there was a long abandoned house that locals avoided. It was a dark, foreboding place with broken windows and a sagging roof. The house had been empty for decades, but it had a sinister reputation. People whispered about the strange occurrences that happened there. Disembodied whispers, flickering lights, and objects moving on their own. One winter, a young woman named Eliza, curious and determined, moved to the village. She was a writer and had heard the stories of the old house. Eager to find inspiration, she decided to spend a night there. The villagers tried to dissuade her, but Eliza's curiosity was unshakable. She arrived at the house just before dusk, carrying only a lantern, a notebook, and a pen. The air was heavy with frost, and the wind howled through the trees as if warning her away. Ignoring the growing chill in her bones, Eliza pushed open the creaky front door and stepped inside. The interior was as one would expect of a house long abandoned. Dust-covered furniture loomed like ghosts in the dim light of her lantern. She settled into a chair near the fireplace and began to write, hoping that the eerie atmosphere would spark her creativity. Hours passed, and the only sound was the scratching of her pen and the occasional groan of the old house settling. As midnight approached, Eliza noticed something odd. The temperature seemed to drop significantly, and her breath began to fog in front of her face. Then she heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping sound coming from the upper floors. Curious, she decided to investigate. She climbed the creaking staircase, her lantern casting long, jittery shadows on the walls. The tapping grew louder as she approached a door at the end of the hallway. With a deep breath, she opened the door to reveal a dusty, forgotten bedroom. In the center of the room was an old, ornate mirror covered in a sheet. The tapping had stopped. Eliza approached the mirror, feeling an inexplicable pull towards it. As she pulled off the sheet, she was startled to see not her own reflection, but a blurry, distorted face staring back at her. It was not just any face. It was a twisted, anguished visage with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through her. She stumbled back, her heart racing. The face in the mirror seemed to move closer, its eyes locked onto hers. Terrified, Eliza turned to leave, but the door slammed shut behind her. The temperature dropped even further, and she felt a cold breath on the back of her neck. The mirror began to shake, and the face inside it contorted into a silent scream. Desperate, Eliza tried to break the door open, but it wouldn't budge. As she pounded on it, she heard a whisper in her ear, soft, chilling words that seemed to come from all around her. "You should never have come here." With a final, desperate effort, Eliza managed to break the door and escape down the stairs. She fled into the night, not stopping until she reached the village. She never returned to the house, and the villagers found her story both terrifying and strange. The old house remained abandoned, and the mirror's ghastly face was never seen again. But on cold, dark nights when the wind howls through the trees, some say you can still hear a faint, rhythmic tapping coming from within.